Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Good morning and welcome to the Ordinary Daily version of the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Monday. I believe it's April 22nd. 97 days until Ironman Lake Placid, our redemption race from last year, trying to earn some redemption after my DNF. I know I had a sort of a fly off the handle podcast on Friday where I just was a little bit off, a little bit, couldn't figure out what to say, couldn't figure out what to do. I wanted to kind of draw this line and start improving in certain areas that needed improvement. So I wound up recording the podcast a bunch of times and finally got it out. But, you know, I don't know. We had kind of a weird weekend. I do want to say Happy Easter to all you guys from yesterday. Pretty interesting weekend. Had Game of Thrones last season. I talked to some people that loved it. I didn't love it. I thought it was kind of like weak. I don't want to give any spoilers. I kind of get what they're trying to do, but I feel like we've had kind of like two boring episodes. I feel like they're trying to build up like kind of this, I don't know, crescendo for next week. I think we're going to lose a lot of people next week. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like all the money they pour into this and all the 2 years of hype before you get the last season out, and I am not impressed. Just not impressed. Anyway, it's a running podcast. What are you doing? Anyway, so Friday, I did the podcast here Friday morning, and yeah, it took me a while to get done. It just was one of those things where I just didn't know what to say. I couldn't get the right message out. I just, for some reason, having trouble. And really, it energized me Friday morning, and I got my strength training done. I got my yoga done. We had Sarah Kelly come in at 2:00 on Friday for a podcast, which went really great, and that should be released probably this afternoon. We did the video. I got the video. There was probably like a 1 minute area where the sound went a little fuzzy. You'd be able to tell. That was my fault. But it's smack dab in the middle. If you're listening, you can still hear quite clearly. It's just kind of a different intonation in the sound. I tried my best to fix it. I swear. I'm not a sound technician here. But what a great interview. It's just amazing to have a person. I've done 2 Ironman races, and I feel like I really felt like I'd be the only one around that has done one of those. And right down the block is a woman who runs a coaching business who has qualified for Kona twice. So what an amazing person to have and talk to about her experiences. And really, the podcast was great. It came out great. I can't wait to release it. I think it'll be something that a lot of people will be interested in. Then after the podcast, I went swimming. And I crushed a swim workout. And, I've been talking about my inability to finish workouts. And I had the workout in front of me. It wasn't easy. It took about an hour. And it's one of those where I get foot cramps and I kind of battled through that stuff. And when I finished, I felt really good. I felt really good about myself. So Friday was like a raging success. The diet felt good. Steph and I went out to dinner, and I ordered fish, and it's like they had like 4. It was a northern Italian fish place, and they had like 4 or 5 different kinds of fish, and they were like fried or scampi or whatever, and I just went after what I thought was the healthiest option. I was proud of myself. It's all a battle, right, guys? And that's kind of one of the things I talked about Friday, was making the right choices. And I felt really good Friday. Going to bed Friday night felt pretty good. I mean, we did probably have a couple glasses of wine. But, the thing is, it was Steph and I were out on date night because her mom's here and watched Ellie. And we don't get a lot of those. So wine is certainly within the realm of possibility. Now, Saturday morning, I got up. I didn't do my run right away. It was supposed to be a long run. There were some obstacles in the morning, and possibly including the remnants of the couple glasses of wine. I think, it wasn't necessarily that I was hungover, because that's not, of a couple glasses of wine, that's not going to happen. But it was more like I was trying to optimize my performance, or at least so I try to hydrate in the morning and get ready for the run, as you should. And I ate right. I felt good. By the time I jumped on the treadmill, everything was good. Now, here's my problem lately. So here's my problem. This is what I'm facing. And this is kind of why I wanted to draw the line, and it happened again. So I set my sights on a 16-mile run. I was going to do it on Saturday. And the reason I was doing it Saturday was because Saturday was supposed to rain and Sunday was supposed to be nice. And I wanted to get out on the bike on Sunday. The bike to me seems more important right now than the run. So, of course, as it rains all morning. It's supposed to rain till like 7 o'clock. So I jump on the treadmill and get going. As soon as I jump on the treadmill, the rain stops. I see the sun come out outside. It's kind of annoying as I'm on the treadmill. And what's kind of annoying too is like it was raining pretty hard, but it wasn't pouring. It looked like it was going to pour all day, and there was actually flood warnings going on the TV. When I looked in the morning, they said at 7 o'clock there was going to be thunderstorms, and that's the last thing you really want to be out in. Of course, I got the list of excuses, guys. You need an excuse, you come to me. Anyway, I got on the treadmill, and here's been my problem. My problem is this. I start running, and I start thinking, 16 miles, I got that. And after a mile or two, I'm like, oh, still got it. Still feel good. 4 miles, 6 miles, mile 7 and a half. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm good. Then it's like this split second where something tells me, it's like, I'm good. Wouldn't it be great if you just were done and you got off? And my brain says, yeah, it would be great. And I push the button and I leave. And it's like this weird thing, because I don't know that I've necessarily battled this really this bad in the past. I feel like I don't know. I don't feel like I've maybe it's just that I haven't succumbed to that pressure as much in the past. So I ran like 7.5 to 8 miles, somewhere in between, on Saturday, which wasn't enough. It didn't feel good. Sunday I got up for my bike. Again, it wasn't supposed to rain. I had the bike in the trunk. It was all ready to go. Drove to the path. The plan was to do about 50 miles. And I had done 45 miles 2 weeks before at 16.3 miles an hour. And really, that was my first ride, like a longer ride outside. And I just wanted to make sure that I had my legs, and I did. And I felt really good on that ride. So the goal of this ride from this week was to press harder, and realize that, I think my fear in the last 2 rides has been, in the past when I've done distance, I get really bad back pain. And I think that all the training in the winter has helped alleviate that. Because I haven't felt that pain, knock on wood, I haven't felt that pain over 2 rides so far this year, longer rides too. So this was going to be a big test. It was going to be get out and push yourself and get that heart rate up and, and try to get, I don't know, what can I get? 16.5, 17, whatever miles an hour I could get. Now, as I'm driving out, I'm seeing like puddles and rain, and I'm like still, all right, I've been on the bike for like 2 years. I'm not 100% comfortable on the bike, right? Now, you see these videos of these guys like doing these massive like sprints in packs and stuff like that, the Tour de France, the Peloton gets all, that freaks me out. It freaks me out, the possibility. I mean, now, the good news about Ironman is that there's a no draft rule. So there's always space, or there should be space. Not always, but there should be space, which makes me comfortable. But anyway, the point is that I'm not really comfortable on the bike all the time. I don't feel, I don't know. I feel like I'm not a pro, right? I'm a guy that goes out riding on the weekends. And so I'm looking at, and it's all wet outside from the day before, and it's all puddles, and I'm thinking, all right, now I'm going to press myself and go, I'm going to go hard at times. And I'm thinking about some of the downhills and how I'm going to have to, whatever. It's just thoughts going through my mind that it's wet out and I'm going to be trying to go fast. And it just made me a little nervous. Not that it has anything to do with it, I guess, but so I'm about 5 minutes from the parking lot, and it's like the sky. It was like they're trying to tell me something. It turned like dark, like night dark. It went from day to night, and you guys have, when the storms roll in, right? This is what, and then it just dumped on the car, like rain, just pouring rain, buckets, and I'm like, well, there ain't no way I'm going out in pouring rain. This is ridiculous. Turned around and went home. Checked the weather forecast as I was thinking of turning around, and for the next 2 hours it's going to rain. And now that Now, thank you, weatherman, because that was not on the forecast when I looked at it on Friday. 2 days away. You tell me you can't freaking tell me there's a little chance of rain, and I don't know. Between the teachers' unions, and their snow days, and the weatherman, you could throw economists in there too. It's called people who just get things wrong or annoy me. Anyway, turn around. Now I'm frustrated because I'm not getting my bike ride in, and I get home, I throw the bike on the trainer, and I tried to hit. There's a thing called Alpe de Zwift on Zwift that's a really steep hill. It's a challenge for me. It has been. I got up it once at a deliberately slow, plodding, pace. That was tough. That was really tough. It took me like 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2.5 hours, something like that, to do that. And so I went at it and I tried to attack it. And I think I had some residual anger kind of left inside from missing from coming up short on my run Saturday, and B, from not doing the ride. And I exhausted myself over the first maybe hour and 10 minutes. And and I didn't finish. I didn't finish the hill. I got up, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way, and didn't finish. So that's 2 workouts not finished. When I said that was, when I identified that as one of my problems, it's not good. It's not a good thing. It's not a good way to start. Now, one of the things I said I was going to do was to buy a notebook, and I bought it. And the thing is, I just haven't had time to really go through and try to create my training programs and my training plans. It's been like a really weird weekend. Yesterday, Samantha's been gone for a week. She's been in Florida with her mother. And usually I usually see her all the time. And it was funny, because I went to pick her up about 1:30 yesterday. And I'm driving, and I'd already, did the bike ride, and I was done for the day. And Stephanie was gone with her mom and the baby. They were gone for the day. And I was driving to pick up Sam, and I'm like, I felt really good. I don't know. I was so looking forward to seeing her. I haven't, not seeing her for like a week, and then having her go away, and kind of worrying about her and having her call me. And it's just one of, as a parent, of a 9-year-old, you're always worried. What if something happens? She flew in during a rainstorm, and I was that makes me crazy. But it was, I don't know. I feel like as an adult, you get these very rare moments, and it's almost hard to even identify them. And I think it was it was almost like joy. It was almost it's I just, as an adult, it's you get into this, I don't know, it's sometimes it's easy to be miserable kind of thing, right? It's almost easy to be miserable. And as I was driving, I'm I'm upset at myself for missing my run and missing my bike, and pissed off at the weatherman, and, and I'm thinking, I haven't seen my daughter in a week. And it made me so happy that I was on my way to see her. And I was maybe I need to identify these moments sometimes. Maybe I had one Friday, we had a great Friday here. It just, once I finished the podcast and got my workouts done, and then we had the podcast with Sarah Kelly, then I got my swim workout done, then me and Steph had date night. It was just a full day. As soon as I got that podcast out of the way, sometimes I think it's hard to recognize that and be happy about it as an adult. It's really strange because you got responsibilities, and they weigh you down, and sometimes it's hard to actually enjoy something. So I picked up Sam, and she wanted to watch a Harry Potter movie, so we did that. We went out to dinner together. It was just nice to spend time with her after not spending time with her. So, it was kind of a weird moment. I was wow, and it was good that, I had these 2 bad days in a row, and then, this redemption race, part of this is about Samantha. Part of it is about her wanting to see me finish. And so I think, in a way, I might have had the 2 out of the first 3 days after my 100-day mark, right? 2 of the first 3 days were poor, weak, not up to task. And then once I got her and we had a good date, maybe that puts things into perspective, and maybe it was sort of a glimpse into joy, into something that made me happy. which was to spend time with her. And, just me and her, too. Because a lot of times now with the baby, it's like it's always the baby, the baby, the baby. And she gets that, and she doesn't really necessarily exude jealousy, but it's probably there. It's probably there in a way. She loves her sister, and she loves taking care of her, and she loves spending time with her, but, she goes away with her mother, and we're still here with the baby. And that's time she probably feels a little left out. So it felt really good and I felt good about it. Not that I'm just performing my duty as a dad, but I felt really good about it. And so I think, maybe that was a necessary moment. Now, yeah, I have this book, and Ronald from the YouTube channel, you mentioned that I should go over my plans. I want to do that. Unfortunately, my plans are just totally blank right now. Every page is blank. So the plans aren't necessarily there. But case in point, I need to get on that. And, case in point is today's workout. I know I'm doing my strength training and yoga in the morning. And that's all I got. In my mind, I'm thinking maybe do I try to make up the long run? I don't know. Do I try to get out on the bike? Probably not today. It's going to rain, but maybe tomorrow. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow. What do I do today? I don't know. I have no plans. I just have my morning stuff that I know I'm going to get done. And then we move into unknown territory. But if I had that book filled out like I wanted to, hopefully there'd be more of a plan in place. Now, Friday starts the Ordinary Marathon, which means Thursday night I'll be running a mile. Midnight Madness is going to run a mile. Anyone who wants to join me, I've done it. I've done 2 virtual races, one ordinary. This will be the second Ordinary Marathon. And both times I ran a mile on the night before, kind of like as soon as it hits midnight, stroke of midnight, the race starts, I do a mile. And I kind of like that idea, but no one ever joins me, which is fine. I don't expect you to. It's a little cuckoo, but I'll be running a mile at midnight on Thursday to kick things off for the Ordinary Marathon. Really looking forward to it. There's still plenty of space, so if you want to get involved, head on over to ordinarymarathon.com and sign up for the race. It benefits the Sam Fund, a great charity, and we are going to have a good time with it. A lot of prize giveaways. I'll be in New York on Saturday with Stephanie and Ellie and Sam. We're going to do a loop around Central Park's Reservoir. We're going to do, if you can either walk a loop or you can run 2. That's kind of the way we're doing it. And then we're going to go out and celebrate the race, celebrate the community. So, I think we have a couple people that are going to meet us out there. Looking forward to that. Hopefully, hopefully, I don't know. I have like a nightmare that it's going to be me and Stephanie and no one's going to show up. It's like you threw a party and no one shows up. It happens all the time. But anyway, I hope some of you guys show up. It'd be nice to meet you and take some pictures for the race and the slideshow and all that stuff, and get a few miles in. It'll be nice to run with you guys. And really, it'll be nice running with you guys, even if I don't see you in person. It'll be nice running with you the whole 10 days of the event. I'm really looking forward to it. And with that, we're going to sign off for today. Hopefully, I'll have more written down and more of a plan. We can talk about that a little bit tomorrow. And remember, every day is an ordinary day. It takes you to make it extraordinary. So get after it today, guys. Get the week started right.
Remember to like our video and subscribe to our channel.